Welcome to another iceberg. Today, our theme is the legendary first game in the Plants vs. Zombies franchise. We'll explore the most well-known topics and work our way down to the least known in this format called iceberg. The higher the layer number, the deeper we go. We'll find more and more unknown games. Without further ado, Crazy Dave. Crazy Dave is a recurring character in the franchise and our guide in the game. We fail and the zombies invade the house of Waljai. He is based on David, a real-life game designer and former Popcorn Games employee. The sandals, the scruffy features, and even the crammed full car with board games are references to the peculiarities of flying. Wisdom. After finishing the game for the first time, you can purchase David's Tree of Wisdom, which you can then with tree food. The more you feed it, the more it will grow to about 300 meters. It will benefit you in several ways. After that, it will only grow. The benefits include tips about the game and interesting facts. If you have the PC or PS Vita console version, it will allow you to enter the codes to change the appearance of some zombies. You can even make it rain candy and create zombies with mustaches or from the Futuri. Building on the previous topic, two of these codes can change the appearance of zombies by typing text. This causes some to gain a mustache. Remember that this does not affect gameplay. You can also type fiction. This will make them wear some properly made futuristic glasses for zombies to tie to the foot. This feature allows you to create your own zombie. It is only available on the DS and PS Vita versions of the game. With it, you can customize the zombie skin color, hair, hat, and accessories. When you're done, your zombie will replace the zombie that held the flag and announced the zombie horde was coming. If there's anything you don't like, no problem. Just make it a simple zombie holding a flag again. Flash game. There is a version of the game that you can play in your browser. This is a flash game that only comes with a few levels. It's like a demo. Then it will prompt you to purchase the full version. The demo is good for showing people how the game works. They like the different aspects of the game. There is a PVC board game from 2012. Today, it is rare to find. In the game, players throw dice to put zombies in their backyards. Players can then respond by playing plant cards to remove zombies. They can also play cards to make it more difficult for their opponents to control the zombies on their respective boards. The aim of the game is to stop the zombies from entering your house. The zombie is the rarest in the game. This plays on the legend of his origin and how he does not appear spontaneously. After completing adventure mode, go to Play Strange level for 10, the one where the darkness comes. It will then appear. What? When you're close to dying, appeal. It gives a lot of money. After seeing him for the first time in the 410, you can find him anywhere. Level, but that's very rare. The lantern plant is famous for illuminating the mist without causing any damage, without doing anything else. It turns out that it became a meme for being not very useful. If it's not a foggy level, there's no point in using it, but it is actually considered a goddess plant. Of course, this is a meme. The almanac provides a nice description of it. Lantern defies science. It just shines. He simply challenges. Other plants feed on light and produce oxygen. The lantern feeds on darkness and produces light. The plant is cautious about how it does this. I will not call it witchcraft. Well, it's a pretty mysterious description. In fact, the plants were made for PVS, and the success of one of them was so great that fans created plans for what the two would be like, or how they would be with artistic fidelity. This was mixed with false leaks and caught many unsuspecting people off guard. The time they took as absolute truth, as if it really were official. The ideas are very creative. I mostly liked the big pineapple mold flower from the Chinese. Two of them were just like the plants. The zombies, of course, did not escape the arts, and fans confused them with. Officials also thought that I had already mentioned the incendiary zombie. I imagine it was going to be one of the most destructive. The zombie witch, a laugh from her, as she raises her hair in places where we didn't even know it could be raised. Was hair. This one is a country thing, I'm almost sure. I also liked zombie toxin a lot, and this is the type you have to take down soon. Harvey can forget about the arrows. Castor is human and is only mentioned in the 405 levels of Plant vs. Zombies. Crazy Dave mentions Harvey Flex Castor, telling the player he is Harvey and used to break vases when they were bored. Sometime later, Harvey moved to another city, which is why he never appears. In Brutal Moji, this is a fan-made mod. As the name implies, it adds a brutal layer of difficulty, making you play Cuphead Zombies version. Damage to the mellow dialogue is activated at night or at the fog level. It has a boring effect. It freezes all mobs except for a few specific ones. But the funny thing is that she doesn't just freeze, she also deals damage within a 20 radius. Big Time is a cancelled minigame, but it can be accessed on PC. With the engine, it would contain the Sunflower, Batatinha and the Giant, Marigold, and its abilities would be stronger. The Sunflower would provide more sunlight and the Potato would have more defense, and the Calendula would grant more coins. Zamboni, a space ogre, mocked him. It would be a totally normal zombie. Zombie being normal is complicated enough. The description in his almanac reads as follows. Often mistaken for a zombie, driving an ice machine and wearing a cap. He is an entirely different life form, more related to the space ogre than to a zombie. Well, the description is very. Sunflowers cost 6 suns in the previous version release when there was literally no sun. Sunflowers now cost 100 suns to plant instead of 50. The team changed that in time before the release of the game. This change certainly made our lives easier. The zombie vase has been removed. There were supposed to be 3 types of vases. Due to another version of Plants vs. Zombies, only 2 of them were added. An unpublished vase that was gray and had a sign with the face of a zombie was removed, was discarded. The zombie vase ended up being used in the sequel to Zombie version 2. It has a different design and this is an old community theory that says our day is a zombie. Some early zombies use items because they think they are, hiding their brains and protecting them from other zombies. Imagine if they just used a bucket or a cone for that purpose. He also doesn't say anything like a zombie, which adds to the theory. Anyway, I think it's just a weird theory, and I don't investigate it too much. The minigame is Raid, and Raid is a DS exclusive minigame. Lastly, we have to defeat the Zombam in style. The aeroplane minigame is very different from most and certainly deserves to be included. Since the squirrel minigame was another cancelled minigame. In it, we would have to find the squirrels, digging up the potatoes before the zombie arrived. At their house. It sounds easy, but I think there would be several zombies on this level. As he was discarded, I think they also stopped working properly on him. They did not finish the phase itself. The fact is that there is this weird squirrel that looks like it came out of Dave's womb. This is due to an incident that happened in the Philippines in 2010. Cagayon de Oro when 5 prisoners escaped from a police station. The police officer responsible for them was busy playing Plants vs. Zombies, entertained by playing Plants vs. Zombies. Luckily for the guard, 4 of them were recaptured and another escaped in a bin truck. I don't know how TVZ honored in Muda. TVZ had a strong inspiration in Warcraft 3 and never hid it. There's a quest in WoW that pays homage to TVZ, which is really cool. In it, you play as TVZ in Blizzard's dark fantasy mode. It's pretty dark, but it's cool to see this dancing zombie tribute inspired by Michael Jackson. The dancing zombie summons for support zombies. While dancing, it turns out that the old one was Michael Jackson's face, paying homage to his idol. In that legendary Thriller trailer, the original release of Plants vs. Zombies and the subsequent creation of the old dance zombie design predates Michael Jackson's death by almost. It was released between 3 and 4 months after the singer's death. There was no opposition from people connected to the singer. Regarding the zombie design, Pop took this quietly. We replaced the sprite with the famous disco dancer. The Chinese PVC version, called the Endless Edition, contains unique plants like this aggressive face star, oxygenated algae, an electric anemone and water gun grass. Apart from these, there are other exclusive plants and zombies. The War of 76 is imitative. The imitator is one of the most mysterious plants in the entire game. Her description in the almanac suggests that she is older than we thought. Look, I remember the zombie war in 76, says the imitator in a hoarse voice. An Odima. Back then, we didn't have all these pea shotguns and fancy Galapagos. We only had courage and a spoon. Among the discarded content, we can find an ice phase. Saichi. Ice phasers would be present in the first game, and this would be where E.T. would appear. However, for some reason, this phase was discarded, perhaps due to a lack of Timmy. Those zombie beta designer zombie, the mini zombies. They are annoying in pairs, but let's focus here on PvP. Their beta design showed that they were actually children. This did not progress, perhaps because it would have been controversial to kill them. Zombies, even fictional ones, and even though they are zombies. This is an arcade with a PVC design in which we use water jets to defeat enemies, and it is rare to find this hot air out. There are videos of people playing it, though. Discarded dog walker zombie. This zombie was removed from the base version of the game. He would have a puppy, and his expression could be a reference to beatniks. Quote, "The walker chooses the path, or the path chooses the walker." This comes from the fantasy novel of Garth Nix, Rare Zombie Death. In the desktop console versions, there is an extremely rare kill. This can result in a zombie, but leaves you extremely low. In fact, it turns out that he dies of an allergy. He's an allergic zombie. He runs out of breath and just falls over. That's it. I hope you enjoyed this iceberg. Stay with the goat and see you.